Hi guys, welcome back to another Minimum Wagers Kitchen. I'm Gigi and today we're going to be making some fun holiday cupcakes. I'm going to be showing you how to make some really yummy lemon blueberry cream cheese cupcakes and dark chocolate almond cupcakes. Well, let's make some fun festive cupcakes, shall we? Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with the recipe here. Super simple. We're going to also go ahead and split this recipe in half so we can go ahead and make our blueberry lemon cream cheese cupcakes and our almond chocolate cupcakes. Alright, so let's get started with the recipe. Definitely have a little mixer. You can do it by hand, but it will take longer, so these are kind of nice to have. Alright, so for our ingredients today, we're going to be using 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. Also be using here 2.25 cups of just regular standard flour, 3 eggs, go ahead and scramble those real quick, 1.25 cup of milk, half a stick or 8 tablespoons of softened salted butter, 6 teaspoons of just regular vegetable oil, and then 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We're not going to go ahead and put the vanilla extract and the almond extract or almond paste just yet. We'll first incorporate the needed ingredients for the standard cupcake mix, and then after that we're going to go ahead and split the batch into 2 and work with that to make the 2 types of cupcakes. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop our softened salted butter. And that's why this recipe does not require to have like a pinch of salt or a little bit extra. That salt's already in that butter for you. Then next we're going to go ahead and add our sugar. So next step, we're going to go ahead and cream the butter and sugar together. And of course, start on low. And what I like to do is just squish that butter down with your little paddles here. That way you don't get sugar everywhere. Make sure you get your sides as well and the bottom. You're going to do this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Usually 2 is about good. What this does, it really breaks up the sugar and the butter and then starts really mixing it together so it becomes quite fluffy. And that definitely allows that really soft, moist, fluffy texture on that cupcake mix. So I'll show you what it looks like right now. Starting to get fluffy. Alright, so next step is going to be after we have our nice mixture here, nice and fluffy, I'm going to go ahead and add those 3 eggs in there. Make sure you beat those guys, and make sure you just, give it a quick stir, quick there. Dump those in. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our veggie oil, regular vegetable oil, and our milk. I'm just using whole milk today. You can use skim milk if you want as well. So next step, we're going to go ahead and mix all of our wet ingredients together. Now remember, don't add your vanilla or almond because we are going to go ahead and split this recipe right in half. That way we can make both cupcakes, and that'll save us a little bit of time as well. Alright, so I started on low, and I'm going to go ahead and do this at about medium. I'm not going to go for long. I really just want to get this all mixed in. Especially too because those eggs, if they are very cold, you definitely want to be able to incorporate that butter in there as it's still nice and soft. Alright, so now we have all of our wet ingredients mixed in, and as you can see, nice and eggy. And what we're going to do now is slowly add our dry ingredients in. For the flour, I'm going to go ahead and add that baking powder in there and give that a quick stir. That way that's incorporated and well mixed into the flour as well. because that's important. Alright, so next step is going to be adding that flour slowly. We're going to go ahead and turn on our mixer to low. And add about a cup at a time. So I'm almost done mixing the batter here. And it should be a nice, really just kind of delicious looking batter here. I'll show you. Alright guys, so the batter is done. So let me show you what this looks like. Super fluffy and happy. It's quite a bit too. I mean, this is a big bowl. My hands are not that big, but as you can see, we have quite the yield. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and divvy up this batter just in half. That way we can make both recipes for the cupcakes. Alright, so now that we have the batch split up into two, let's go ahead and start making both cupcake mixes. So for the vanilla blueberry muffins we're going to make today, we're going to go ahead and have that half batch we put aside, and we're going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Right now, oops, got that little half teaspoon there, so that's what we're using. Alright, so we got that vanilla in there on that half batch, so I'm going to go ahead and just quickly mix this in. Now I'm going to go ahead and just drop these blueberries right in here, and that's 1 cup of blueberries. Make that half a cup of blueberries. We're going to be blending this in with the mixer here in just a moment. Alright, so we've got our vanilla and we've got our blueberries in that half batch, so let's go ahead and turn on the mixer halfway. Start on low. And those blueberries, I mean, they're not going to completely break up, but I do want to break just a little bit. So now we're going to do medium. What I do want to see is those blueberries breaking just a touch. And then we're going to go to medium high. Alright, so our blueberry mix is done. So let me show you the cupcake mix here. There you go. So yeah, you'll see some bits and pieces and whatnot. Those will get nice and soft too once we bake them off. So we'll go ahead and put this aside for just a moment and then finish up our dark chocolate almond cupcake mix. So now we have our other remaining half batch here ready to go. So what we're going to use is baker's chocolate, and that's a dark chocolate today. And that's a 1/4 cup, by the way. And then for the almond extract, I'm going to go ahead and use 1 teaspoon. Okay, so for this one, because it has the chocolate powder in it, and chocolate powder tends to, well, go everywhere, I like to give this just a quick mix, just to get it started. The next step is going to be almond paste, and almond paste we're going to use about a 1/4 cup, and what I'm going to do is just about break it into small pieces. Just makes it easier to mix into the cupcake mix. And today I'm going to go ahead and add half a cup of the chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate chips. We've got our marzipan, almond paste, and we also have our chocolate chips, our chocolate powder, and our almond extract. Now I'm just going to give this a quick stir, because really those ingredients are well incorporated now. You are going to need your hand mixer here in just a little bit to make that buttercream frosting and cream cheese frosting. Alright, so we have our blueberry and vanilla cupcake mix here, and we're going to go ahead and do half of the little tins here. So I've already got some liners on here as well, try to be a little festive or whatnot. And let's go ahead and use just a regular scoop. What I'm using, you can use an ice cream scoop halfway filled, or you can go ahead and use like a cookie scoop. And today I'm just using a cookie scoop just to make this a little bit easier. You want to fill them a 1/4 of the way to the top, so 3/4 of the way. Alright, so for the chocolate, we're going to go ahead and give this a quick mix just to make sure that almond paste is incorporated. Your chocolate chips will be okay. Alright, so same thing. We're going to go ahead and use our scoop to go ahead and scoop out that batter onto our cupcake tins and cupcake liners. And again, for these, we're going to just go ahead and fill them up 3/4 of the way. Alright, now these are 3/4 of the way full, ready to go right in the oven. And I was able to get enough so that way I can do a half and half for the tins here. There's the blueberry vanilla. And then here is the dark chocolate almond. And since I didn't have enough to use for these guys, big guys, I went ahead and split up the rest and made some little minis. And I'll definitely let you know what the time difference is because these will bake faster. Let's go ahead and pop these in the oven, shall we? So these we're going to go ahead and put in for 350 degrees. Alright guys, so these are out of the oven. So these took about 25 minutes or so. I did do the mini cupcakes as well. I did have a small tragedy and drop about 3 of them. So right in the oven too. So they got a little smushed. But I did get a couple of nice ones here. So obviously that one right here, that one, and that one as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cool these down for about 45 minutes or so. I'm actually going to take them out of the tin here once they're cool enough, and they are now, so I can pick them up. In fact, I'll show you. There's one of the blueberry vanilla. And then here is one of the dark chocolate almond here for you. So I'll go ahead and let these cool down again for a good 45 minutes. I'm going to let these rest on a cooling rack as well behind me here. Take them out of the tin so that they cool a little bit faster. And we are going to be making a really yummy lemon blueberry cream cheese frosting as well as a dark chocolate almond frosting as well. So we've got our delicious cupcakes cooling down here. Probably got another like 10-15 minutes to go. They're just about ready for that frosting. So let me go ahead and show you how to make that. So for the lemon blueberry cream cheese frosting, today we're going to go ahead and use 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. We're also going to be using 8 tablespoons or a half stick of butter, and make sure that's salted as well as softened. We're going to be using a whole lemon zest. So we'll go ahead and zest the whole lemon here. And after that, we're going to also squeeze a 1/4 cup of lemon juice as well for the frosting. And of course, for the last ingredient, we're going to go ahead and put these lovely blueberries in here. That's going to be a whole cup. Super easy. In a medium bowl, we're going to go ahead and add our cream cheese here. Make sure you scrape that off pretty well. Definitely want to use all of it. Show you here nice and softened. And then we'll go ahead and add our softened butter as well. Alright, so with our mixer on low, we're going to go ahead and incorporate together the softened butter and softened cream cheese together until it looks light and fluffy. We'll go ahead and start on low and then go on to medium once it starts really mixing. By the way, wrong day to wear black. So the butter and cream cheese are already mixed in, nice and fluffy. That literally took no time at all. Took about a minute or so. So yeah. Alright, so now we are ready to zest our lemon. So what we're going to do is, I usually go ahead and hold my zester this way as opposed to this way, because it does collect on the top and then you can just go and push that back in. So let's go ahead and start here. And the best way, of course, is make it easy for you here. And I'll show you here in a moment. Usually the easiest way for me, I just go around. Now you can do this with a grater as well, but because I have a zester today, I'm using the zester. And really what you want to do is hit the top of that with your planer. So, there you go. Quite a bit. So we'll do the whole lemon. It really doesn't take very much time at all. But anywho, I'll be right back. And now I can show you how much zest you're getting out of that. Quite a bit. Yeah, now we're going to go ahead and add that here. And see what I mean? Super easy. That way you're not hurting yourself and trying to get that zest out. As you can see, a lot of it came off. So we've got that lemon that was zested here. And now I'm going to get a 1/4 cup of juice out of this. So with our cream cheese and our lemon zest and our butter mixture here that we went ahead and practically whipped, let's go ahead and add that to a large bowl. Nice and fluffy. I've added this to a little bit of the powdered sugar already, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wait to put the lemon juice in so that way I don't curdle up my cream cheese in here. And I'm going to go ahead and start on low so we don't get a giant poof of powdered sugar. See what I mean? All over me. Let me show you real quick too, because I mean, this is like within not even 30 seconds, you're already getting a nice creamy consistency. And believe it or not, you are going to be adding the rest of this powdered sugar. So let's go ahead and add our lemon juice now. This is a great time to do that since we started really mixing this in. That way we don't get splashback. See how fluffy that is already? Pretty amazing. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of the powdered sugar on here, or the confectioner sugar. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the mixer as I add 1 cup at a time. And yes, it will get messy. Alright, so now that the cream cheese, the salted softened butter, powdered sugar, lemon juice, and lemon zest is all blended into here and looks quite fluffy and lovely, we're going to go ahead and add our blueberries. Alright guys, so I went ahead and added the blueberries to this, and I do have different attachments on for the mixer here. So these are a little bit wider, they're a little bit sturdier. What you can use is you can kind of like smush them, or you can use a food processor for these. That way they're just slightly crushed up. And again, I'm starting this on low, and then I'm really going to go to like high here, so medium. And this is to break up those blueberries, so you know. Show you here. Woo! Well, I'll have to change before I leave the house today. Onward. Well, let's go ahead and try this frosting. I went ahead and did that for about a good 2 minutes or so. Breaks up the blueberries quite a bit. And again, you do want little bits of blueberry in there. Those will soften up in just a bit. All right, let's go ahead and taste this. That is divine. Wow, really good. All right, so now that our lemon blueberry cream cheese frosting is finished, let's go ahead and pour it into a little piping bag here. And what I've done is I've just grabbed a glass. Here's your piping bag. Here's the piping bag. All you have to do is boom, and now you just fill it up. All right, now that we've got our frosting here, we'll go ahead and chill this for about a good half hour, 45 minutes, before we start frosting our holiday cupcakes. All right, let's make some chocolate almond frosting. So for the chocolate almond frosting ingredients, today we're going to go ahead and use a half cup of dark chocolate baking powder. And this is just baking cocoa. 1 3/4 cups of the confectioner sugar or powdered sugar. We're going to go ahead and use half a teaspoon of the almond extract. We're also going to go ahead and do a half a cup of softened salt and butter as well. We're also going to do 2 to 4 tablespoons of regular milk. And to decorate our cupcakes when we're done for our dark chocolate almond cupcakes, I've got some shaved almonds here as well. What we'll do first is go ahead and add your softened butter into the bowl. Go ahead and add your milk as well, your almond extract, and the powdered dark chocolate. And now with your hand mixer, go ahead and place the mixer down onto the butter so that way you have something to start out with, because it will get slightly messy. Make sure you start on low. And that takes no time at all. Like I said, it will be just slightly messy unless you have a really deep bowl. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add the confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, a little at a time. Alright guys, so I'm back. These have cooled down quite nicely for the blueberry vanilla cupcakes here. And as you can see, we filled them up 3/4 of the way, and they puffed up quite nicely. I also have a couple of the mini ones back here as well. Let's go ahead and frost these as well. Alright, I'm back. Let's go ahead and start frosting these really yummy dark chocolate almond cupcakes. So for the frosting, went ahead and chilled that for a good 15 minutes or so, just to make it so a little bit more manageable, especially because it was sitting up for quite a bit. Okay, so for buttercream frosting, for this one, I went ahead and put a star tip just for funsies. Alright, so let's go ahead and start piping these lovely dark chocolate almond cupcakes with this really yummy buttercream, which is the dark chocolate buttercream with almond extract as well. I have a star tip on this one, so what we'll do is we're going to actually start from the outside, and the best way to do it is if you actually have it not holding it this way, but actually putting it down on a plate. So we'll start from the outside, go in a circle, and then slowly start going in. And as you go in, bloop. I'll show you real quick here. Super cute. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of these done here, and then I'll show you what they look like. Okay, let me show you another one here as well. So again, start from the outside, hold your piping bag with your hand, and then go ahead and squeeze with the other one. I'm going to go around, and then right when you get to the top, poof, and we'll do another one here as well. And just go around, and super easy. This one's a fun one too, especially if you want to just pop some sprinkles on there, make it a little bit more festive. You certainly can. I'm going to go ahead and finish these up here, and then I'll show you how to put some chocolate sprinkles on here and also the almond shavings as well. Give them that festive look. Alright, so now these are all frosted, and I just wanted to show you too with that tip. If you take the tip and just start adding a little bit of the frosting and then just pull away, you'll be able to get little stars, little flowers right there. So you can do that to decorate it. That's an idea there. Alright, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you how to decorate these with some sliced almonds. So we have these decorated with that piping tip, and all I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to toss some almonds right on the top and just kind of let them organically stick. Voila! Kind of nice to have that on the plate too, especially if somebody is allergic to almonds. Want to make sure they know that that's in there. Alright, so we have our little fancy guys over here, and what we can do is grab the nice little pieces, put them a little sideways. I'll show you here. Tilt them just a little bit, and boom. That way it looks like you went and grabbed it from a little patisserie. And we'll do the same thing with these as well. We'll tilt these a little bit. Give it that very nice professional look. And voila. Alright, so in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, add the almonds to it, and when I come back, let's go ahead and taste these. These are all finished up, so let me show you what these look like. So I just went ahead and added these on the top, just all over. Slightly patted them so that way they stay. I also just did the center. It looks really cute that way. Nice and festive. Half almond. And then with our little flowers here, with little almonds there, made it look all very gourmet. So yeah, take a look at those. Yum. I can't wait to try these. These are going to be so good. And let's not forget our lemon blueberry cream cheese frosted vanilla blueberry cupcakes. Super cute. Super adorable. Especially with those pieces of the blueberry in there. And by the way, those aren't chewy or anything. They'll be super soft, especially with that sugar sitting there. And we decorated some with some of the festive holiday sprinkles just for funsies. Just in case if you mess up, you know. And added as well one of the little Santas on there. Hopefully you can see that. Alright guys, I'm super excited to try these out with you. So first off, let's go ahead and try out the lemon blueberry cream cheese frosted cupcake. And that's with the vanilla blueberry cupcake. Ooh, that came out wonderful. Look at that. The bottom, top. Super nice and fluffy. Yeah. I'm actually gonna rip open here one of the minis just because I want to see how the texture of the inside came out, and that way I can show you as well. Wow, that came out super moist. I mean, super great recipe. This is also really good for just standard cake mix as well. Well, alright, let's go ahead and give this a go. Wow, that's really good. In fact, I'm going to take another little bite here. Especially with this awesome frosting. Blueberry yumness. That is delicious. These are great too. Just refrigerate them for a little bit before you take them over to parties or if you're sharing it with friends and family. So now I'm excited about trying out the dark chocolate almond cupcake as well. The paper's a little bit different. There we go. Well, won't you look at that? Same thing. And you know what? This does not seem dry at all, which is really nice. And that was 25 minutes, and for the minis, it was 15 minutes. I'm gonna give this a try with some of that frosting on there as well. Definitely taste the almond, which is nice, but it's not overkill. Wow, that's really delicious. I'm just gonna bust this guy open, just because I want to show you the inside. I know I'm destroying it. It's alright, I'll still eat it. So yeah, let me show you the inside. There's tiny little bits of the marzipan paste in there. So when you eat those, it's not like hard or crunchy. It's smooth, and then you taste a little bit of that almond here and there. That almond, super good. And it's the marzipan in there too that gives it a little bit of that extra flavor. Well guys, I had such a great time making all of these. This was a lot of fun. And honestly, it does not take that long, especially if you split that recipe right in half. Really good idea too is that you can make that frosting ahead of time the night before and just stick it in the fridge. No biggie. Well, here you go, you guys. Give you the grand finale here of the close-ups for our yummy holiday cupcakes. And again, you can decorate them however you'd like. I just figured I'd do something simple today. That cuts a little bit on the time too, and that way you have more time to spend with family. And here are the dark chocolate almond cupcakes. These are great. That way you have a little variety during the holidays. Well, you guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I certainly had a lot of fun making all these cupcakes for you. And I definitely hope that you get to make the recipe and share it with your family and friends during the holiday season. That was getting a little heavy. But if you like the show, go ahead and hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you know when there's more videos. Also too, don't forget, now I have a bunch of videos so you can binge watch. Well guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I will see you next time on the Minimum Wagers Kitchen. See you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.